Good morning and welcome to my hobby table yet again. On the table today I have a very new and old classic OS engine. And this engine is the 40RC. Now this just arrived today. It is, I've already opened the box and kind of looked inside, and to me it looks like it's brand new. But there's some curious things about it. So this engine dates back to, or it was released, according to the OS engine's timeline, was released in 1972. But as I like to do, I like to try to understand the real history of this and how long the production life of this engine might have been, because you really don't know that without a little bit of detective work. So I open this box up and I see that everything is packaged in here in bags. Muffler, carb, and engine. So we're going to put those things aside for a moment and look at those things individually. I'm going to go straight to the documentation package, because this will kind of help me determine, how long the production life was of this engine, or, maybe it was just old stock sitting around. So here's our standard OS, instruction sheet for the time period. This is exactly what, all that was included at that time. And this is dating back to the 70s. Correct vintage big decals. Safety warnings, and mostly Japanese, but this is the one that's of interest to me. This is the OS marketing literature that came with it. Now, in newer engines, the coloring was different. I think in the 80s, 90s, the coloring was different. So this right away tells you something about the age of all of this. So, and the first thing I did was just open it up like this, and I'm like, oh, the color is different. And the first thing I see here is usually the newest engines, or at least their full lineup at the time, is usually included in this until they started getting too big to include these. So the biggest engine here is the 90 FSR. And we already know, because I just recently did a quickie engine talk video about the 90 FSR. This engine came out in 1978. So that dates this whole package to at least 1978, and most likely not later, because the marketing literature was always really well kept up to date, because OS was putting out so many engines that they updated their marketing literature at least yearly, I would think, if not semi-annually. So just going by the Max 90 FSR, which I have in the closet right behind me, we know that this dates at least to 1978. I don't know, I haven't looked at any of these others to see on the timeline when they might. We got a 50 FSR, 45 FSR, 46 VF. I'm not sure, but if we look at the the four-stroke engines, basically all they're offering here as far as four-stroke engines is still this engine here. The FS60. In fact, this is exactly, let me zoom out a bit here. This is exactly that engine, because the carb, I don't know if you're going to be able to see these things or not. The carb is exactly the same. Doesn't have, it has the machined rockers, not the aluminum rockers like the early ones did. So it looks like this engine dates back to at least 1978. So here comes the next thing that I thought was curious about this engine, is that I was looking at the engine bag, and I noticed, and I haven't opened any of this stuff up yet, and I noticed a rogue lock washer right here. There's a lock washer in here, and then the Allen wrench is in here, and it looks to me like the screws for the carburetor are in here. At least one screw I see. Hopefully there's two in here. So that would be an area of concern if there's not two screws in here, because actually I'm not seeing that. So this leads me to my next little quandary, is that I don't know that this has never been opened before. Granted, these things are stapled in bags, but now it looks like I might be missing a screw that secures the carburetor, and here's the carburetor, and it has another screw in it. So clearly this stuff has been opened. And I was looking for evidence on this bag here. And I know this is maybe kind of boring to you, but this is kind of the stuff I look at. And I don't even know if you're going to be able to see it. I saw one staple, and I was looking to see if there were other holes in this bag indicating to me that this had been opened and re-stapled. I'm not seeing any yet on that. Now this bag with the carburetor in it, it does look like potentially there's other holes here, like that was opened up. So that would imply that that was opened up. This exhaust bag, just maybe it was opened up also. So anyway, we got these things that look like they've been opened up. So let me see if I can take this staple out in the least destructive way to the bag and see if I see. Obviously, I don't think OS would do something like this. They were much more meticulous about things then, and I don't believe that they would separate carb screws like that. So, anyway, here's our engine. And anybody that, yeah, this is definitely something different because OS would never sell one of their engines with a Fox plug in it. So I can tell you right now that this has been opened because they would never put a Fox plug in one of their engine bags, because that's exactly what this is. This is a Fox RC long idle bar plug. So they wouldn't put that in there. So okay, we've solved that mystery. Little mystery. It's new in box engine, but it hasn't been unmolested completely because obviously it has been. So this kind of goes back, and this is a ball bearing engine. This goes back to a topic that I've talked about many times in the past. Many times. In that I've had people ask me, well, when I have a new in box engine, should I put oil in it? And I'm like, if it's truly a new in box engine, do not put oil in it. Do not put after run oil in it, because if it's from OS or Enya, at least for sure OS, older OS engines, this engine is what? We said this thing dates back to at least 1978. I mean, do the math. That's plus 40 plus years. So this thing is smooth as silk. So there's no reason at all that you would need to put oil in this thing. It feels, I mean, it's just smooth, it's perfect. So that just goes to show you that the way OS and high quality engine manufacturers of the day would ship their engines, somehow they put something in them. And maybe they don't do it, I don't know. I don't know what it is that makes it such that they're just so perfect right out of the, and they're never locked up, they're never gumming, because they didn't run these engines in advance. And you can probably see how perfect that part of the crankshaft looks. I mean, so this is one of those things where you don't, if you have what you really believe to be a new in box engine, and a new in box engine from OS will feel just like this. It will just be perfect, period. I mean, that's all there is to it. So this is a, like I said, Max H40. And I don't know what I'm really going to do with it. I might run it. These things might, I think this one is a ringed engine, I believe. Yeah, it's a ringed engine, so it wouldn't take, you know, a super whole lot of break-in like some of the cast iron piston designs. But honestly, I don't even remember what motivated me to get this. All I know was an incredibly affordable price, sold by someone who doesn't really sell a whole lot of other RC items. So that's why I got a really fantastic deal on this. But anyway, I just thought I'd share this with you. It comes with an OS 2A carb. OS 2A carb. And of course the 703, OS 703 exhaust. This muffler fits several different engines. I think it fits the 35, the 40, maybe one other engine also. But anyway, I've never featured this exact engine on the channel. And now I have the opportunity, even though the seasons are coming, the running season is coming to a close rapidly. I don't know where in the, the queue this would fit. But anyway, I thought I'd share this little bit of OS history with you all. I just was looking a little bit more closely at this. I turned the camera back on because this is more interesting than I originally thought. Not only did this have this Fox idle bar plug in here, but I was just looking at the carb again, and there are 2 carb screws. There are 2 screws in this bag. They're not wanting to cooperate right now. There are 2 screws in this bag. And that leads me to the question, what the hell is this particular screw and this particular lock washer that don't even match up to each other at all? And I know this probably could be pretty tough to see. That's a very short screw. That's a very small lock washer. The 2 don't go together. And they were in the bag with this engine, and I'm wondering what the hell, where do they go? I don't understand. That looks like a brand new screw and lock washer, but I don't see any other place that a screw would go. I mean, I'm pretty familiar with 2-stroke engines, so that is curious to me because I don't believe they go anywhere on this and the exhaust, because we've got the clamp, the strap here, and both the screws there. So the mystery deepens. I'll have to see. I don't think there's any kind of in that instruction manual, it doesn't show an exploded parts breakdown. So I don't know. I don't know where those 2 screws are, or that screw and lock washer came from, and why there is a Fox idle bar plug in there. But anyway, okay, that's the official end of this video now.